All the news right here. Don't go away.
Happy Sunday, everybody! I just wanted to come out with this video because I literally had to rewatch Rehab Room's video like 3 times. And even though I was gonna come out to a response for it, there's like so much news. News with Iran and United States. News with like people here, and the big news with Andrew Tate got like fucking set the fuck up. He's just like, oh, I got a pardon, but from the American, well, it's not really a pardon. He just like leaned on the Romanian government to release him. I think it was more or less a setup because he was just gonna go into hiding, and like be like a terrorist motherfucker, like funding terrorists and shit. So they said, fuck it, let's like pretend like he's free and like he didn't really do anything. And they slapped him with all these rape charges, child porn, trafficking pictures, all this shit. Like holy fuck, he's gone, dude. And like you could really feel the impact of it because all the people who followed him or even like had like casually good things to say about him are just like fucking tight-lipped, super silent, because it's like every single thing that they said in the past is just gonna come back to haunt them and shit. And speaking of coming back to haunt them and shit, you got Akash over here. Like, I don't even know why, right? Well, I do know. Like, I made many comments about it. I actually like went into depth as to like why they're like this and shit. So I do know why, but it's like it's also strange how they just don't know that it's over. The ride's over, man. It's over, man. The end of the ride. It's the end of the ride for everybody. So let's discuss Rehab Room's amazing video. Amazing. Okay, so Rehab Room, in the off chance that you're watching my video, thank you for enlightening us all, because it takes somebody in the trenches, somebody who knows that kind of like coping mechanisms, like the kind of like qualities that these snake oil salesmen or whatever they selling and shit. Because Mom Donnie, right, is one of those broken children who had like this idea that he's gonna be growing up in a world. And I want everybody to pay attention to this because this is gonna be playing on repeat. Okay? They get this idea that they're growing up in this world, they think that they're special. And trust me, I was more or less the same way until I got the reality check. I think I got it when I was like, I don't know, 8, 9 years old, maybe like younger. But it was my brother who like introduced me to the concept of like people being racist and shit. And I think like he overstepped because he was like 5 years older than me, and like nobody really knew what racism was when I was younger and shit. So I was like, I kind of alienated myself because I took his advice to heart a little too much. But more to the point, right? Like you realize that like if you're going to like a school wherever and you're like the person who doesn't fit in, like you're not gonna get a date, man. Like there's suddenly like unless like you're really attractive or really athletic, like even then, like it's still a coin flip, coin toss. And you get this idea that Mondani is like it's bad enough that like people went through this shit in high school and college. Like you're supposed to grow out of that after a while. Like you know what I mean? Like yeah, you're not gonna be dating people or whatever. Like you're not part of this ethnicity and shit. Like I had to leave to like an elementary school and a high school because it's like, and this was me and the Jews and shit. And I still went to like a high school with like a lot of Jewish people, and they were my friends and shit. But like I was going to like another fucking Jewish ass high school all the way on the other side of the fucking city and shit. It's not a city, it's like Vaughn and stuff. It's like right next to the highway and shit. It's like a fucking hour, 2 hour walk away from my house every day. I was like, ah, fuck that, man. I don't care how much nicer it is than Vaughn. I'm gonna go to fucking Vaughn. Okay. Fuck. But I get it, right? Like, and then like that shit goes away in college, university. I don't know how it is in America, man. Like, I'm guessing because of 9/11, they still had that racism thing. But like, you get this idea, and I've been around guys like this. They have problems, and they don't want to admit it. And then the second you want to like, say like, yo, man, you got to work on this, you got to work on that. Like, nah, man, they're just racist. They got something against me. It's like, nah, man, you got like a fucking, you got a pot belly. You got like, fucking skinny ass arms and shit. You gotta like, work out a little bit. You gotta like lose some weight. Oh, by the way, dude, I'm dying. It's like my second week of dropping like a single pound of fat. Like the soccer game was playing the championship between Spain and Argentina, and I just saw them score one goal. I'm like, oh, that's it. That's the game. Fuck it, forget it. I'm gonna go back to doing my elliptical. I got like an hour and a half left, and then maybe some more, and then I'm done. 1 pound of fat. But like they pull the race card a lot, and Mamdani literally, like, I don't know if Rehab Room found the actual picture of Mamdani when he was sitting with his, I don't know, high school or college buddies, and you could see this like I think like the picture is maybe a joke picture. Like it just seems so like awfully convenient. But it's like you have three girls and one guy, no, two guys, right? Mom Donnie and this other like dude, right? This guy with a cat baseball cap on, right? And this guy with the baseball cap on is like literally surrounded by girls. He's got a girl like sitting on his lap or like between his legs and shit. The other two girls like he has his arms around them, and you see Mom Donnie just sitting by himself. I'm like. Oh shit, eh? And you see the picture, right? Like, smile for the picture, everyone's smiling and shit. And I'm like, I'm scratching my head like, there's no way this is a real fucking picture. So then he starts reading about his like whole diary and like how he was like, oh man, I wish my hair, like when I grow out my beard, they call me terrorist, or like I'm too tanned. I wish I was white so I could get all the white women. Yeah, man. I was the opposite of that. I was like trying to get with girls my own race because I was like, I knew from a young ass age that like no one's ever gonna really love you unless they're your own people. And then as I got older, you realize that like the only people who are gonna love you are the people who think like you. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they have to look like you or be the same race and religion. They have to think like you. And that's like, the thing that I got wrong. And Mamdani, he got that wrong permanently because he was always chasing after that white pussy, that white woman, that white thing that like all these Muslim and Paki Sikh retards are just like they can't get enough of it and shit. Like it is just one of those things that they just cannot let go. Like the whole idea that both Pakistanis and Sikhs they can't have their white women anymore. You could see how they're fucking reacting and shit. You see this one random guy here in Canada. I swear, this guy, like, I pay attention to him, like, tangentially because his I don't know why the fuck his, like, shit starts popping up on my fucking feed and shit on Instagram. Like, why is this guy in this fucking retard ass face? And he's always making this stabbing motion. He's like, no, no, no. He's like stabbing all the time. Like, yo, this is how like these guys are hot wired and shit. So this guy walks into like Good Life Fitness with his kirpan and shit, right? Mind you, this is Good Life Fitness. Okay, they're gonna kick you out if you drop the weight. They're gonna kick you out if you make too much noise. They will kick you out if you go up to a girl, ask her name, what her name is, or like ask her what time is it. Hey, you go up to a girl, say, hey, do you know what time it is? Girl will complain, you'll get kicked out of Good Life Gym. So why the fuck are you going up in there, right? With your fucking kirpan and shit, your fucking little like dildo knife, and trying to start shit with people. And like I wouldn't like bring this story up. Like I don't really think it's that big of a deal because it's like it's its own personal shit, and like the Sikhs are going to be dealing with this rudeness or this like isolation, if you will, from white people because of like how they treated white people and how they continue to treat white people and shit, right? Because this guy, right? I honestly think I honestly think that they lied to him. They said they're kicking him out because of his kirpan because they don't want to tell him the truth. I would tell him the truth, dude. Your fucking form sucks dick. How the fuck am I like what I mean? Like I don't obviously blast droids, and I can easily like well not easily. I can curl 60 pounds, right? I'm up to 80 right now. And when you see this guy, whatever the fuck you call that, right? Just throwing the weights around, you realize something like, yo, this guy bought his muscles, man. And then you extend that to like a lot of other motherfuckers out there, and you're like, when you look at these guys and their impressive bodies, like that shit worked in the past. It really did. And now, like, I'm starting to really look at women differently now, like their intuition as being like almost like a Nostradamus type of prediction that like they predicted like these weak ass mans were always like this. Like I would talk to certain girls and they wouldn't be even be like impressed by Brad Pitt or anything like that, and then you find out later on that Brad Pitt is passing ass around with Leonardo DiCaprio. Like you'd think that some of the most attractive people are like guys who are just notoriety. Like they wouldn't have problems getting girls, but like no man, it is what it is, right? And like, why would you complain about this? Like, this is good life fitness, You just want that attention, you know what I mean? And you know why he's so fucking cheesed, man? Because the news report came out that Vikram's mom, Vikram Digwa's mom, Mrs. Digwa, is gonna do 3 years and shit. Yeah, trying to like fucking hide up the knife, washing the knife. Stupid ass Packy, man. Stupid ass Packy. Yo, how's that feel, man? For the next 3 years, his older bro can't get. Well, he's not gonna get married, right? It's like what I mean. Like he can't get married because his mom's not gonna be at the wedding or whatever. Yeah, she'll probably get let off like early for good behavior, or some shit like that. So it's like a first time offense or whatever. She's just like doing it to run, to deflect to prevent her son from doing hard ass time and shit. Cause he'd be getting raped up in that prison like on a fucking daily basis. Man, it's not like wanting to leave his cell and shit. That like the craziest part is, I haven't heard any news and nobody has. It's really fucking quiet, and that's when you know things about the pop is just from bad to worse. Speaking of from bad to worse, yo, what's up, Andrew Tate? Yo, how many years do you think he's gonna be doing behind bars? Because they want him in the UK prisons and shit for all these drug trafficking and like fucking I don't know all those fucking charges and shit. And like yo, just like that, like I'm scrolling down my fucking Instagram feed and like the Sikhs are jumping in and like talking about Andrew Tate. They're all so sad, man. Man's be fucking getting sent behind bars. Vikram Digra is getting sent behind bars. All you mans be lanes and shit. Your girls be hoeing out. Jazz leads the fucking internet. Like, the internet can't leave these people alone. Like, they make like fucking half an hour long fucking response videos on. They're making money on these motherfuckers. Okay, Ashkosh, you're smoked, man. You're smoked. I know you got like a comedy career, and you think to yourself like, yeah, you could walk away from this and like whatever. Nah, man. Because man, they keep digging it up. They keep digging up your past, and you be saying some wild ass shit, And I get it. Like when you're in love, and like you found someone that you think that like will be with you and like, completes you and all that shit. You think you could take on the whole world. You get cocky with it, you know. Every man does, or I would assume that they would. I would. I'm guessing other mans will and shit. But it's a realization that like vast majority of guys out there, right? They want something that is like this almost picturesque, perfect existence that they know for a fact that they had it long enough for long enough, right? Because they're thinking to themselves, oh, because I never had it before. It's something that I want, right? The craziest thing though, and one of the biggest fears I've had when it came to like dating outside my ethnicity is that, well, specifically for with my generation, you'll have guys and girls with that in-group preference, and it doesn't go away. So like they'll date interracially, but they'll always like talk to, or be more cordial or friendly or more forthcoming to people who speak their language or from their backgrounds, their religion, all that shit, right? But the world changed. And how did it change? Well, you see, we have to constantly make up, well, not we, they have to constantly make up like lies for like groups of people, homosexuals, Sikhs, Pakis, and then they're passing a law in Canada. I think it's to like go against like anti-Semitism and shit, displaying hate symbols, being racist, whatever, for the sake of being racist and shit. I don't know. For my in my instance, I'm seeing people getting run over. I'm seeing people getting stabbed. I'm seeing grown ass men going up to teenage girls, telling them they're gonna kidnap them and shit. You can call me racist all you want. I'll just hit you with some fucking information. I'll make you fucking cry out your fucking nose, man. You feel me? Cry out your fucking nose. The pain, the suffering. Like, there's so much shit that's happening in the UK. The police are basically against their own people and shit. It's almost to a certain like level where I think that like excuse my like tons of coughing. I'm thinking that like if Rupert Lowe wins the election, somehow, some miracle happens where he wins the election, it's still not going to be enough. You're going to need a war. He's talking about like deporting millions of males, XY chromosome. Now, why is that a problem? It is a problem. Come on, everybody knows it's a problem. It was a problem for them to even step foot in the country and everybody to pretend like, oh, refugees, welcome here, guys. Males, men, gentlemen. I mean, I thought you were gentlemen and you start raping kids and shit. I don't fucking call you anymore. fucking rats, man. Oh, that's racist. Fuck out of here, man. There's no scale of morality and shit. Well, speaking of morality, I hear that like not only is Canada being blamed for air quality, that's like sending out down like all this forest fires and shit to America side, but also that like Trump is taking this like super personally against Canada and shit for being like such a fucking bitch to him and stuff. So not only is he like putting extra tariffs because of the forest fire here out in Ontario and all like the fucking smog was like for the past like 3-4 days and shit. He's freezing his assets, Mark Carney's assets in America. I'm like, holy shit. And that's how it's done, man. Like, I don't like people like this, people who don't have to really answer to anybody and don't really like have the interests of the general public. They just care about themselves. Like, you're seeing a lot now with like Islam and Muslims and like Sneeko and shit that their religion is falling so hard that they have to run this like annoying ass defense for it where they're saying that like all these nice things and all these hypocrisies to butter you up and then kind of like try to make you forget about the Groom and Gang scam. just can't. You can't. It's so bad. Shit, dude. It's so bad. And the thing is, like, I'm not white. I've extensively reported on it and spoken about it mostly because of like, the involvement possibly tertiarily because of my last name, Singh, and then they started bothering me personally and shit, which is like I kind of feel bad because I bring this shit up and it's true, but then you think about you read about what happened to those victims. You could read about it, and 100 times worse, 1,000 times worse. And you see the tactic. It's like it's a very common tactic. Follow you around, harass you, fucking flash their lights at you, high beam, fucking, drive loud, like make their car like sound loudly, like drive loudly at night, try to wake you up and just stalk you out and stuff. Get people, taxi cabs, dirty cops, everybody on the shit that like perpetuates this idea that like they're going to sexually exploit specifically Caucasian, young females and shit. And no one's having it anymore. The shame of this is never going to go away. It's going to be the downfall of not only the Islamic religion, but also the Sikh faith, their culture, their entire bloodline is just falling. And that's what happens too. It's like when you're so proud of yourself that you think you have nothing wrong with you, and you look the other way every single time someone brings up, any misgivings and shit, it inevitably becomes this because it's like when you don't have that um, accountability, you don't have that capability of just taking a step back and saying to yourself, well, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should think about how this looks on my parents, how this looks on my peoples, my religion, and most importantly, how this looks on me. But when you don't have that anymore, you have like fucking Sneeko talking about like, yo man, you should be sharing up your girl, like go to these sex parties and shit, join Islam and stuff. Andrew Tate's like join Islam and shit. Oh my god. It's just like Rehab Room said. Like it all started most likely when they were like really young and shit, and they thought to themselves that like, yeah, everybody's the same, everyone's equal. It's like Sesame Street. Shut the fuck up, you N word, you fucking you darky. What the fuck? And the worst part is, oh yeah, the Odyssey. They won't actually let the real reviews out because it's just like you don't want their feelings hurt. And just like I said, if the Odyssey does like if Citizen Vigilante does better than the Odyssey, the jig is up, the time's up. You you gotta face facts here, man.